Yay! Hello, everybody. We're live, and welcome to Let's Talk Landmark, episode 9. We're just cranking right along. Man, we got some cool stuff to talk about today. We're going to talk about the Qeynos competition and what's happening out there, what people are building. Anybody's getting started. Welcome to Let's Talk Landmark, episode 9. Again, I have to mute myself. We're just cranking right along. Man, we got on my live feed. I did it this morning. What a dork. All right, hello, everybody. Slacker here. And we're also going to talk about, imagine what building EverQuest Next first expansion would be like. So anyway, we'll kick this thing right off with the Qeynos competition. And speaking of Qeynos competition and morning brew, David, you've got a Qeynos coffee house, and that sucker's done. You're done, right?
Well, apparently not, because now I don't know if they changed it or everyone just missed it, but according to the guidelines now we have to have a base that's at least 20 voxels deep to set into the terrain.
Yep, it is on the page and says
it's
it
right here in black and dark gray.
And it's a lot. I mean, 20 voxels is huge.
Can you drop the link in the chat?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it right here. Beat you.
Damn it! Damn it! Oh, sorry.
I already had the page open, so it wasn't hard.
Yeah, but 20 voxels is a long freaking base on that thing, man.
So what are you guys doing? I mean, are you going to build bigger basements, or are you just going to take that bottom layer and just copy paste it a bunch of times?
Well, that's what I'm going to do. Just copy. I'll probably actually have to raise the whole thing up a little bit to fit inside the claim space. But yeah, I'll just copy paste the last few voxels and drop it down.
So does that mean you have to extend your stairs all the way down to that 20 voxel depth, or just copy them?
It's a good question. Mine are close enough to the edge that I can only extend them so far, and then it's just going to drop down. So, but I mean, they're looking for room to drop it down. So, and when you think about it, because they say they want to build it on a hill, so that means there's more diversity and depth and all that. So it can be considered a good thing, I guess.
So when you say building on a hill, you guys think the nobles area is going to be the high point of that little plot of land right there that got cut out?
Maybe.
I mean, without actually seeing the terrain and knowing what we're going to be building on, I mean, it's kind of hard, to actually say that this is, how we need to do this. And them telling us, the 20 voxel, being able to sink something down into 20 voxels, we're talking about like an incline of like that, for the 20 voxel space. So if this is the front door and this is going to be your back door, you see where I'm getting at on this? Then,
sure do.
That's 20 voxels. You drop on it like this. So if you have I've been doing 10 voxels. And then now I've reread that. So now I'm going to have to change everything that I've done already and extend it even more. And the big question is, do they want it solid? Do they not want it solid? There's a lot of questions that kind of arises from that. But
I see though, on that point right there, I see the expansion as an opportunity to build basements or expand basements in some of these builds that you're going to do.
Yeah, but
that's true, because they did say the basement, when they place it down, they'll be placing air as well. So anything inside the base will cut out of the terrain.
Well, everything around the building is going to get cut out too, because when they make a selection of just that one house itself, then if any kind of eave or overhang, it comes straight down into the ground. So you're going to have a big airspace that all the way around that building. Then they have to come back into it and then heal the earth all the way around it. And if you've got like funky designs that kind of go around your building, they've got to hand heal all that or hand build all the way around it anyway.
Okay, so Zach here says they want to paste with no air. Okay, interesting.
So that eliminates a basement down into the base area.
The other thing I was thinking
Viking.
of,
Look at all those single childless men here. So for everybody, I'm sorry guys, didn't mean to interrupt. For everyone who was expecting Bad Viking to be in the show today, he was going to, but his little one woke up. Hey, a lot of us are at-home dads. So, there you go.
Snapdragon also mentioned one other thing here, which is you have to remember there's going to be a sewer also.
Yeah.
Now, if you're setting down 20 voxels down into the ground, that sewer is going to be deep.
The other thing I was thinking of, they may have decided to make it that, the 20 voxels rather than just the 10 because they're looking at the bigger claims that are 3 to 4 claims big. So that, because that incline might only take up like 5 or 6 voxels on a one claim piece of property, but if you're stretching it out 3 claims, then that keeps going up. And if the whole build is level, then they're going to need more base.
Then I would rather have a breakdown for size. Because I mean, if I'm making a solid base under this thing, and because they haven't told us, that we couldn't do a solid base or that they wanted a solid base versus a hollow base, they didn't say that. They said a base.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said a base.
Yeah,
now,
if they're going to be pasting with no air, then you're going to have a solid base. And Zach points that out right here. So,
I mean, I've got everything from a quarter claim builds all the way up to a full claim builds. I got a half claim builds. For
the month leading up
sizes.
to the contest, we were under the impression it was going to be 3 voxel base. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So these are some things hopefully they'll watch our show over here and maybe get these questions posted to them so they can address them during their show. But that would be good.
Yeah, because I'm on my claim right now.
You're always building.
I am always building. I'm always doing something. And I tore. You remember that really tall building that was in the center?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
That one has been totally ripped apart into quarters and made bigger. I did, and with the roof system, the interior rafters, I mean, the whole 9 yards has been done to this thing, and I did it in 4 hours. Wow. So, and it's, I get my mindset on something. That's what I'm doing. I mean, I'm
so then you're able to come over and build mine.
Yeah, sure. I mean, well, the way it stands right now, I've got 10 buildings that for the competition, and
wait, you have 10 different buildings.
Yes.
Wow, sweet.
And I'll have all of these to spec to what I'm wanting for the competition probably 3 days from now. So I'm going to spend the rest of the week and a half or whatever building probably 2 more buildings. Claim size. Okay. So
now, Dyford, you're done. I mean, other than this modification for the base on your coffee shop, are you going to tackle another Qeynos build?
No, that'll be it. I mean, it took me forever just to get this one done. Well, that's not true. It took me forever to get inspired to do this one. It only took me like 3 days to actually build it. But but yeah, I don't really have any other ideas at this point that anybody else hasn't done yet already.
Well, so. I'm building a pub, but suddenly I don't know. I feel compelled to maybe work on the docks. The pier, the port itself. So we'll see. Because I love that stuff. Love ships. Spend a lot of time in various harbors around the world. So
yeah, no, I'm going to. Of course, I have to pull the thing out of competition to do the fixes and then put it back in the way they've got it set up. But Yeah, there was a couple other little nitpicky things that Josh Augustine mentioned, and I wanted to make sure I gave a shout out to him, because over the weekend he tweeted out to everybody, said, "Hey, give me your in-game names. I'll go and visit your places and give you some critiques." And so he gave me some really good ideas on that. He did that for some other people.
Yeah, he came over to mine too.
And I really appreciate that they took the time to do that. I was impressed with that.
They've been really good about. I tell you what, this has been my favorite of all the competition so far.
Well, I'm just thrilled that Josh is on the show. I mean, I really hated the idea that we lost Jeff, but they really picked one of the best that I could even think of people
to fill his shoes.
To fill his shoes on the show. I don't know about filling his shoes at SOE or Daybreak, but he is a very smart individual. He was like one of the first guys that I added to my Twitter account. You know, when I made it. And
Josh or Jeff?
Yeah, Josh.
Wow.
Josh was one of the first ones. And
so you made a Twitter account just for Landmark?
Yes.
Same here.
I
got onto Twitter just for Landmark.
And but yeah, I mean, he was like one of the first guys that I added to my Twitter, and I mean, you know, I've had like a small rapport with him for quite some time, and you know, I wanted to meet him when we were at SOE Live, but I could never find him. He was hiding somewhere, man. He was hiding somewhere.
I met all of the PlanetSide 2 guys. They had a great setup there. That was fun. They were fun to talk to. And you know what? I talked to them about about building the next version of PlanetSide 2 with the Landmark. They loved the idea. And then of course, someone came up with a perfect name for it: PlanetSide Next.
PlanetSide Next.
But you know, what are you going to call it when it's the previous version? PlanetSide previous?
No, it would be Next Part 2. Maybe.
Don't know.
Hey,
Navi, what's up, man? Hey guys, I turned up my gain a little bit. Let me know if it sounds good.
But yeah, Josh was a you know, one of those guys that, I mean, very intelligent. He had been on the show, I think, once before. I believe they bring him on, but I don't think it was on the workshop show. I think it was on the regular show. Yeah, I think it was on Landmark Live. But I mean, my memory is about but very intelligent guy. You know, he's a straight shooter. He'll tell you exactly what he thinks, and that's something that I can appreciate. And you know, he's definitely a great person to have on the workshop show, because I mean, he is very
he's concise.
Very concise, and I'm thinking of, you know, like a engineer's mind frame. You know what I mean? You know, architecturally, you know, he knows the ins and outs of what it is that he does.
He's more. Yeah, I mean, he's a game designer guy, and for him to have such a great insight to this has been super helpful. And then Paul as well. Yeah, he's been great. Although we missed them last week. Who's the funny dude? He lost his voice. He was on the show last week, on the workshop show. Was sitting in the
yeah. I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Alan Lapidus. It was Alan, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yes. He's
good too, man. So they're doing a fantastic job there. We sure do miss Jeff, but wow.
Yeah, I have not heard a single word from Jeff. And it's kind of sad, because, you know, I kept in touch with him, you know, pretty tight.
Well, he's retweeting. Yeah, I'm telling you, he's going through. He's watching the activity, retweeting stuff. So he's there. He
still cares. He still cares about the game, which I really do like that.
Yeah.
But I haven't contacted him.
He's been very hush hush about what he's up to. So We'll find out. We're watching you, man. I wanted to get his help to hotwire that DeLorean that we found on the show the other day. Oh my God! Did everybody see that thing? Someone, no. Who was it that built that DeLorean? Good God, that thing was amazing. I'd like to see them build the train from the steam locomotive from the very end of the show, from the end of the series, when they take off back to they fly off the tracks and anyway.
Well, that's your next project then, there, Gio.
We need to get LK on that. Oh my God, that Enterprise that we had. We showed off LK's Enterprise this morning on the show. Wow,
it's pretty damn amazing. Really damn amazing.
So LK's not doing anything for Qeynos, right?
Not that I'm aware of. No.
Hello,
he's a very technical person. He likes a challenge, but he just doesn't see Qeynos as a challenge. I think.
Real quick, we got a lot of people here in the chat here on Twitch. If you're building something for the Qeynos competition, just say yes. Just type yes in the chat. Curious to see how many people watching the show are doing some Qeynos stuff. I've started one a little late to the game, but determined I'm going to get something entered. Something. I might wind up just submitting a lamp, but I hope to get something done. Knob Winkle's got a great one. Oh, Dandy, excellent, man. Oh, wow. So Viking doesn't think he'll get it submitted? Really?
Oh, that's going to suck.
So Katina, all right. So you're helping. So okay, you team it up.
Katina's been helping me, because there's been, when they gave us all those new textures. I'm going around going voxel by voxel, painting, trying to get all my stuff repainted. And Katina was like,
so you're the Tenma one, she's the efficient one. All right, I got that.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're doing it screwed up, you're doing it Temasal. So, it's.
So Bio says he's got no clue about that sort of thing. All right, that's good, man. That's good. And Ferd Burfel said he thought about it. Bad idea. Okay, Varden, you're building something. Yeah, well, I think we've seen Vardens. Vardens, have we been to your build yet? And Wiki, not a builder, but hey, if anyone needs resources, tap that guy right there. And Dragon, not fast enough or experience. Well, yeah, it's worth a try, man. All you can do is get rejected.
And definitely, if you're lacking resources or whatnot, contact Ferd Burfel. He has got one heck of a warehouse of materials that, will end up being wiped unless they get used in some form or fashion. So definitely contact Ferd. I'm pretty sure he will hook you up in some form or fashion.
Back to the Qeynos stuff. Wow. So let's talk about the latest round of props that we received for Qeynos and textures that they added. I noticed, Tim, you've been working with those a lot. Dolphin, what you got? Did you use any of the stuff from the last round of props and voxel textures that we got?
I did. Just the doors.
Okay.
I used the arched door. I was lucky enough that the arches for the doorways I made fit the new shape of the doors enough that I didn't really have to do anything with it other than just resize the doors. Although the doors have been kind of buggy. They're hard to click on for some reason, and at some angles you can actually walk
through them.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody made a post about those doors and the clickable areas on the doors. Mm-hmm. So I'm pretty sure that has already been marked up somewhere. Pretty sure they're going to jump on that and get that fixed. So,
I haven't used the new lamp or any of the new textures.
Well, how about Timo? So you've incorporated all the new textures, haven't you?
Every single one of them.
I saw the cobblestone on your claim last night. So I was walking through your town before you chopped it up.
Before I rudely destroyed it.
And you know what? And it seemed maybe it just didn't render for some reason based on where my camera was positioned. But there seems to be no bump map on the cobblestone texture.
It's more. I think it's more than a bump map. Well, I had already been complaining about the bump map that it didn't look deep enough. You know, it looked flat.
It didn't have any dimension to it. I'm walking down the cobblestone street you had there, and it didn't look right because it just didn't seem to have any depth or dimension. So,
and you know, when you move, if you put your camera looking directly at it, it would look clear, and then if you moved your camera just a little bit in any direction, the pattern would pixelate. Just by moving your camera just a little bit. But if you stayed stationary and looking directly at it, it was fine. But as soon as you moved your camera, it would just like pixelate and it looked like poop. It's a beautiful texture. The texture itself is fine. It's just that layer for the bump map needs to be played with and give it a little bit of raise, and then of course fixing the LOD for that texture.
Now, it was either Josh or Paul, didn't they address that issue with the texture, or was it Terry on the Landmark Live, about textures going to low res mode, and it was based on how many textures you had that you'd used in the same area?
Well,
if you had more than X number of different textures, huh?
I call bull crap on that, because on my claim, I'm pretty sure that I have less than 50. I'm pretty sure I have less than 40, and I'm pretty sure I have less than...
They were talking like it was a single digit number, quantity. If you had more than like 6 or one of them, the others than the basics one, then the first 5 or 6 or whatever it was, were going to switch to low res.
That sounds like old stuff to me, honestly. Because I mean, they increased that number of how many textures that could be loaded at any given time, you know, quite early on. Actually, you know, they went from something like 8 textures in the beginning of alpha to something like 50, and then from 50 they went all the way up to some astronomical number after that. So I don't think it's a texture loading.
Well, Bob Dobbs says here they need to enable tessellation. I can say it. I have no freaking idea what it means. He told us on the show what tessellation was. We need to get him on. I can't
say that word.
Yeah, we need to get him here.
I'm too redneck. I can't say that word.
Tessellation. I hear that word and I keep thinking Devlin's Tesla coils. Devlin wants a Tesla coil security system in his home.
Oh God!
You walk in and electricity starts arcing across. Yeah, that would scare me out of there.
Wow.
So now we were over at Bob Dobbs today, and we saw that he'd done something very interesting with one of the lamp props. You know, the Qeynos lamp that's got the long wire that you really need to add it. It needs a chain added to it.
Well, we actually mentioned that.
Not in reference to his particular build, but the lamp itself. It'd be great to have a chain. But what he did is he took that lamp prop and he stacked it. Looked like 7 times to make it look like not quite like a pagoda, but you could see 7 lamps, and the bottom one was linked with the light switch on all around. Look, it was really clever, really nice looking. So I don't know if anyone's using the new Qeynos props in these new and interesting ways or not.
Most of the stuff that I've heard about that particular lamp, the one that looks like a little string hanging off the top of it, was why did you put the string on it? That was the common thing that I've heard.
Wire.
Is like, why did you put the string on it? We can make that, you know?
Yeah.
And if you just gave us the lamp itself, you know, we could be able to use it for other stuff.
But see, now the difference
but the string you can't.
But the Tim, I know we can make it, but if you're going to put it at an offset or some kind, then no, we can't be that precise with the voxel, with a nanovoxel string. So
yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
Okay.
I am totally disagreeing with
okay,
you
all right.
that. So yes, you can do that. It's just I mean, I just don't see the use of that string. You know, I just don't. Not unless I was going to use that string, you know, at like a 45-degree angle or something like that on something else. But still, you have to work with the light. You have to hide the light in some form or fashion, or integrate it in with whatever it is that you're building.
Well, and this gets me to the workshop show. They did a call out for. All right, so if anyone out there wants to participate, you know what? You can build any number of things. They need lights, lamps, any kind of custom light or lamp that you build that fits into the theme. They'd love to see it. They'd love to have it. For the port, the harbor, they need a lot of stuff. And so far we haven't seen a whole lot of that being built yet. A harbor house, the harbor master.
Well, I think the reason why you haven't seen a lot of that port stuff is because everybody was assuming it was going to be wood, and then in the last show they said nope, we don't want wood.
Yep.
And then everything that everybody had done for the port just went.
Corinne, thank you. And they also need buildings that are under construction. And I can imagine these being used in a number of ways. Someone had mentioned their use in something such as a raid call, where there's a call to the community to come defend this little town from the gnolls in this case. And when you succeed, as the city starts to expand in phases, you'll see some of these buildings under construction being added to the new area as the city expands. So we get to build these buildings under construction. So they ask for a lot of that as well. And
I forgot about that. That I might consider doing, because all I have to do is take my coffee shop, cut the top half off, put up some framework, and I'm done.
Yeah, really, seriously, this is the low-hanging fruit. So anybody wants to build some cool, they're looking for this kind of stuff. Scaffolding, Corinne mentioned the machinery works, pulleys and cranes.
I think when it comes to pulleys and cranes, I think I would rather see a prop-based version for something like that. Because the stuff that is in
needs a level
that is
of detail.
not a building. That is not a building. Needs a level of detail that far exceeds what we can do with voxels. I mean, far exceeds what we do with voxels. I would rather go into the port area and you see all the cranes and stuff like that, but I'd like to see them move. I like to see them, like the hook going up and down, picking up boxes or something like that. I would rather see stuff like that to immerse me into the world than have something that just sits there like this.
Yeah, and so, our show would not be complete if I didn't bring up Voxel Forge. Now, with Voxel Forge, I'm telling you, this is something that I think will be needed to bring a whole new dynamic and more content from the players for use in EverQuest Next, but there's so many aspects of taking a voxel mesh and converting it to a prop, because we're going to want to be able to make some of this stuff animate. And how do you do that with a Voxel Forge?
I got something to throw back at Katina on this. That is something that is coming up in one of the iterations of the patches. Destructible props.
Yeah.
So, to say that, I call bullshit. Because I know it's coming. So, I mean, it's going to happen, and we're going to get destructible props because that is something they've told us for I don't know how long that we're going to have. If I take my sword and I swing it at a prop, and but everything that is voxel destroys and the prop doesn't, it looks stupid, So we have to have destructible props in the process. Now, if they've created a crane or whatever that even does motion, or a workshop or something like that that has little whirligigs and stuff on it, if I can bash the crap out of it and it falls into a million pieces, that to me is a little bit more immersive and a little bit more realistic. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Do you guys remember what they said about the ships for Qeynos? Are they looking for something that's elven in style, or do we get?
I'm not going to call it. I'm not going to call it elven. I'm going to call it mutt. It's a little bit of German Shepherd mixed with a poodle, okay? And that's what they want for a ship.
Watch out.
Anyone else
Someone's going to build
picture of a Viking ship, but instead of the dragon on the front, it's like a poodle's head?
Fippies. Yes. It's Fippies. Fippies'
it's a
head.
Fippy dog.
Okay, Fippy, yeah.
Right,
you know what I find interesting?
Yes, more elven, very long curves. Thank you. Throckmorton, did they ever release a new ebook? Aren't they close to releasing that thing? I don't know that it's come out yet. I think they're right this close to it, though. But I don't know. I just honestly don't. I'm the wrong guy to ask.
I don't know. I don't read.
Yeah. So, hey, Bob Dobb says, yeah, we already have prop destruction in game. A good point. Great. Thank you, Bob. He says, if you want to try it out, go chop down a tree. Watch what happens. Watch that prop explode. We've had prop destruction since the game started. Just saying. Thank you, Bob. Keeping us honest, man.
You know what I find is interesting is they are pretty good at telling us what they don't want. They're not as good at telling us what they do want, and they seem to purposely not tell us certain things. For example, during the workshop show last week, they showed off, I forget who did the build, but it was a build of kind of a tower-looking Qeynos structure that was kind of set into a mountain.
Okay.
And they said that it would look good parked up in the hills above Qeynos, and that they were actually planning on doing that, but they didn't tell us that they were planning to do that because they wanted everybody to mainly focus on inside the city. So it sounds like maybe they're not telling us certain things to do because they don't want too many people focusing on those things. They mainly want just inside the city.
Dark Wars, we love your ship, man. Been there. If anyone wants to see ships, he's working on one for Qeynos. It's lovely.
I thought you said shits. We love your shits, man.
Oh my god.
I totally agree with you on that. It's like we hear a lot of what they don't want, but not the things that they do. And it's it kind of goes back to that whole idea of it's that personification that it almost seems like they don't know what it is that they do want in a lot of cases. And, you know, I harped on this before, heck, even before Jeff left, that, you know, tell us what you want. Give us the blueprint right off the get-go through the workshop and let us build. And you come in there, you tell us, no, this is screwed up, that's effed up, change this, freaking destroy that, drop that crap even lower, and then, you know, we get a lot of feedback off stuff like that. You've told us exactly what it is you want. And then we build to it. If we can't meet that certain specification that you're looking for, then it's going to show.
Yeah, one of the things that they covered on the workshop show was the LaForge guild build, the Mage Tower or Mage Hall or what. It's beautiful. We've been there. We went there on the show. But on the side of the building, they terraformed some rock onto the exterior. Some, you know, like you'd have.
I think that's the one
I knew that was going to happen. I knew that was going to happen. Yeah. Because, I mean, they had told us quite a bit that they didn't want terraforming through the workshop. They didn't want terraforming. They said it, and as soon as I saw that, I was like, "That's not going to go well." Yeah. And somebody's going to get butt hurt because of it. And I just
the thing is, but they covered it on the so good thing. I mean, they covered it on the workshop show. So Ansel and the crew, the Mage Guild, thank you, Ansel. So Ansel and the crew over there at LaForge have plenty of time to address that.
Yeah.
And we went to that beautiful Qeynos Farm on our show as well. Oh God, the name. Whose farm is that? Trelawnist? Is it Trelawnist's? Yeah, I think it is.
I think so, because it was the same person who did the water wheel.
Okay,
right nearby.
Right.
By the
Yes,
side
exactly.
Of the
It was Trelawnist. And again, they mentioned that there's going to be areas out in the Qeynos Hills for farms, but they really weren't specifically addressing that right now. So I get the feel that they're going to need some more content for the different cities that we've worked on so far, the different races that we've worked on so far, rather. They're going to need more content as they march closer and closer to getting things prepped for, for some previews in EverQuest Next. So I'm curious to see how they're gonna play that. If they're going to have us build more stuff, like they did with remember the team up. I mean, that was I really loved the way the team up thing rolled out. It was very loose. It was easy for someone to go jump in and build like that because of the way that they structured it. So I'm hoping that they'll do that here for the Qeynos stuff. After the competition is over, that they'll still have room. Looks like they've got a need for more stuff.
That would be nice. I was wondering if they maybe needed some smaller items, not like an actual claim build, but things that they could set like by the side of the street, like carts, fruit stands, that sort of thing.
I think
things they could just place around in different parts of the city besides the actual buildings and all that.
I think now we still don't know if they're still working on the Voxel Forge. We're just going on the assumption that because it's I think it'd be a moneymaker.
We need.
We need it. We really need it.
So.
They need it.
Definitely something we need.
They need it for game development for EQN, and I think it would be a huge boon as a revenue generator for these guys because the things we could create as props and then sell those props in Player Studio. So that's where I'm thinking.
Well, I still say that they need to set it up to where we can create things externally and be able to import. Just because of the amount of stuff that can be created by the players, for EverQuest Next. And here in the game, we're able to sell the thing. Now, if, Daybreak just says, hey, that's a cool-ass shield, we could put that into the game. Now, of course, we should get a little bit more money than what we sell it on the market for, just for their ability to use it. Just because of it's kind of an IP that we're putting into their game. Say if I put it up there for, 100 SOE cash or whatever, then they would pay us, say 500 SOE cash or whatever it is, just for the trade-off. If they're going to use it in say, another game or whatever. But still, I mean, the amount of development work that can be done by the players and then imported into the game is kind of is like a trade-off for them. They'd actually gain by doing it.
Well, then you know what, this is a good segue into the next thing I wanted to talk about, which is imagine the future of Landmark. Imagine EverQuest Next going live, which means Landmark will have been live for 6 months to a year, maybe longer. Now think about it. So imagine.
Sorry, I'm about to break out in song, man.
So
imagine all the people.
so EverQuest Next is live. Landmark's been live for a while, and Tinma and I and Dyfed went out on a binge caffeine and Guinness session, and we've recreated all of Qeynos inside Landmark somewhere. All right, all of EverQuest Next could theoretically be recreated by clever builders and Landmark, somewhere inside Landmark. And then we could add our own gameplay systems to it. I was having this thought while I was having a Guinness the other night, and I just wondered, will that be weird?
Well,
we're building the stuff right now. I mean, we're going to have the templates for the stuff that they're putting in the game. Is that going to be odd? Is that going to be a positive? Is that going to... I don't know. I think it'll be interesting, though. So it made you think. Made you think, didn't I? Just try and picture Landmark in 18 months, or however long it's going to be till EverQuest Next goes live. And then wait for it. Imagine building the first expansion for EverQuest Next with Landmark. Now imagine a player base. I'm hoping 10, 20 times the size of the one we got.
Every time you say that word, it's like the song just starts back from the beginning over and over again.
Imagine. But seriously, everybody, think about these things. These are some, and this is going to be a reality at some point. So, yeah, and there will be bragging rights for sure. So Throckmorton here. What would be bad is if the players get together to make a better sequel to EQ2 and EQ1 inside Landmark with the game development tools we're going to have in Landmark. I don't know.
It could happen.
Bobbed up. Imagine royalties. There you go.
That'd be cool, but yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, how are they?
We could make it like a
I don't know.
like a mirror universe one, like they did on Star Trek. Yeah.
Where
all the bad people are good people, and you go in one place, and it's completely different. It's the same thing, but all the colors are reversed.
Or it's the same thing.
Let me put this out there. Okay. So we all get together with everybody in our chat here, and 18 months from now, we recreate Qeynos on an island somewhere as our guild build, or some massive collaboration. Recreate Qeynos, and then in the harbor, instead of ships, we have that beautiful rubber duck. Ramaz rubber duck. I mean, the potential for silliness is insane.
Instead of the claymore, we have a slingshot in the middle of town as a memorial.
Oh God!
I don't know, man. I'm just, so one thing we've been talking about since we all started in the alpha is imagine what it would be like to build a sci-fi MMO with Landmark, or something contemporary. I mean, we could build anything in Landmark. So sky's the limit. But how are they going to? What's it going to be like when people are recreating EverQuest Next inside of Landmark?
Well, I honestly think that if we got like the guild islands, to where you have a large area and it's like free roaming, you could put down where you want, what you want.
Where the whole island's PvP.
Well, if you wanted it, that would be actually pretty interesting, because you could be able to rebuild something in your mind. I could reconstruct Paris if I wanted to, the Eiffel Towers and all the other, buildings around it and stuff, recreate something that's from real life or something inside the game, and not be constrained to a claim size, which having to work with claims, it does suck. In my opinion, working with claims really does suck, because you have that limitation on how big you can make something, how small you have to make it, how long it has to be, and all that kind of stuff.
I think a lot of that is based on data optimization, and I get the feeling that there is only so much they can optimize.
I could care less about that. I mean, what I'm thinking of is like, the freaking Starship Enterprise. He is constrained to 9 claims to make the enterprise. Can you imagine what that enterprise would look like if he had no limits?
That was the question on our show this morning. Look, everyone,
I mean,
if you haven't seen this thing yet, LK has made a replica of the Starship Enterprise, the first one, and it is stunning. Did it in plastics. You got to go see it. It's on Sci-Fi Bay. Just look up LK in the gallery. But this really illustrates what Tim was talking about here.
I mean, you take out that limitation, and it's like free building to the size and scale that you want to. But can you imagine rebuilding the Enterprise and being able to actually walk from one section to another section, go down into the engineering room, get into a little shuttle, or jump out of the little shuttle pad in the back side of it, or just like in like it was you were there.
In other words, build it the way everybody wanted Star Trek Online to be.
Yeah, exactly. And so, that's my kind of viewpoint on that, because I mean, gosh, man, the stuff that you could possibly do if you didn't have the constraints of 9 claims.
I've always had this dream of building the Cloud City from Empire Strikes Back. And just the 9 claims alone for the top saucer area of that isn't big enough. And even if you could kind of build it, then what do you do about the spire that goes down?
No kidding, that's massive.
Because you've already used up all your claims.
Yeah.
So,
Solana just said, they're going to allow more claims. So I think at some point we're going to be able to team up, or you get your alts to team up, but to build some of these big sprawling city type builds that we've been wanting to do, because it sounds like they're going to eliminate that buffer between claims. But still, it's going to be on a claim system.
They didn't say eliminate. They said shrink. They said they could reduce it, but they didn't say they would eliminate them.
I mean, the one thing that's holding back Landmark from really just destroying Minecraft
is this open free building.
Is open free building. That's it. That is the only thing that really, I think, is preventing Landmark from really kicking off really big, is because people don't, from Minecraft, they like that free roaming. They can build what they want as big as they want and all that. Where in Landmark, you have that constraint. And
it seems to me an easy thing to do. You just set up. Some islands are set up the way they are now. Some you set up with free roam. Some you set up with no mobs, so you don't have to deal with death. But they could even charge extra money to be able to go into certain islands to build the way you want if they were worried about that.
That comes up with a lot of different issues, though. If it's free roaming and people can build and destroy however they want, then of course here come the trolls.
So that's why
what's to prevent somebody from doing it, and how do you handle server cleanup? How do you, all these little things that, would come into play if it was free roaming.
So you set it up like you can buy your own private island, maybe, and you only allow, and it was up to you to allow whom you wanted to come onto your island. But only those people, the same way that you give permissions to claims, you give permissions for your island. And people might be able to visit your island, but they can't do anything there unless you give them perms.
I love this idea. I love it. I love it. I think there's, we have to get an understanding of, they have to get an understanding of what it costs them, hardware-wise, to set up something like that for people. So
that would definitely be something that people would pay extra to get.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely.
I would.
I'd pay.
There's a point I wouldn't go beyond, but yeah.
I'd pay, a monthly subscription fee or whatever it was that I had to do to get my own island, or to get an island for Colossus. I'd love to have an island just so, all of our members could come together and be like, hey guys, we're building Paris today, or hey, we're going to build,
Imagine seeing that video on YouTube. Holy crap. That would be fun.
Or something along the lines of, I don't know. We're gonna make a 50 times sized store. So when you're walking in, you're like an ant.
So
I
I
you see all the big jugs and stuff, and you'd be like crawling around like an ant inside this build or something. I don't know. It's just whatever your imagination can kind of pull out.
Nice choice.
So we're building IKEA.
Yeah.
Okay.
I tried to keep that clean because I was going to call it something else.
Continue, FAO Schwartz, yeah. Well, if you ever have to rename Colossus, there it is.
Schwartz. May the Schwartz be with you.
Indeed. Oh, man. Well, we got to wrap up soon. But, guys, any thoughts about, any conjecture about Landmark in 18 months?
I think there's certain things that they've hit a wall on. And I think that wall is really just something that eventually somebody's going to have a brain fart, and all of a sudden that wall is going to drop, and then all of a sudden we're going to have something big happen. But that happens all the time in development and stuff like that, because, of course, you're like, how the heck can I do this? And then enough, time and patience with it, you finally figure out in a way to actually solve the problem.
So would Landmark ever have expansion packs?
I don't think so. No, it would probably be patch only.
Yeah, there'll be additions, like anything that when an expansion for EverQuest Next comes out, they'll give us, the new stuff they've put out for Landmark, maybe. I mean, I know it's supposed to go the other way around, but there's always going to be stuff that they put into the game that we never saw in Landmark.
I'll always remember that Landmark technically has never been its own game. Ever. Even though they say it is, it's not. It's still under the same kind of IP, I guess you could say, as EverQuest Next. So if Landmark's making a little bit of money, but Next makes a lot of bit of money, they got even more money. That's all it really is. Mm-hmm. Because they're using the same technology across the two of them.
Hey guys, check out Trelawney's comment there.
Small purchasable race packs or theme packs.
This is something that I've been wanting, and I've mentioned this quite a few times before. I would like potions, or the ability to create a potion or a random potion of a random race or something like that. So I could drink this potion, and all of a sudden I'd be a dwarf, or I'd be an ogre. Or something like that, or have like race specific
to be walking through your ogre build, for example, when you're doing the competition as an ogre. I think it'd be brilliant.
That way you could actually figure out the sizing of the doors and stuff like that, or at least just expand my character out like a big fat ass or something. I don't know, and to make it look like an ogre.
I love it. Great idea. So so for the video, because we don't have the chat on the recorded video. What Trelawney had said was, idea, Landmark could have small purchasable race packs or theme packs. Yeah. And brilliant idea.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, and say you buy those particular, potion books or whatever, you buy them on the market. I'm cool with that. I'm totally cool with that. I mean, I don't think that's something that would hinder gameplay in the least, and it's just like an extra add-on for the game. So if I wanted to buy one that was for dwarf or one that was for ogre, I could buy that one that I needed, which would be a small transaction between me and Sony. I get the little potion. I can make as many of those potions as I want from that one little spell book or whatever, and they get their money. I get my potion, and I'm a big, fat, ugly, sweaty ogre. So I'm done with my rant. Sorry.
I see some great ideas coming through on the chat here, guys. I wanted to get this question out to the community. Just think about this thing. Think about this game in a year and a half. Think about Landmark being used to build the first expansion pack for EverQuest Next. Lots of things we just haven't considered yet.
Well, there's still lots of possibilities. So I mean, there's still a lot of things that can be done. There's a lot of things that can't be done, and between them, eventually something is going to happen, and great things are going to happen all of a sudden, just in a huge spurt, and I just know it. And the biggest spurt that we can get right now is, of course, the wipe.
Yeah, true.
Because
I got a quick question before we close. Do you think when EverQuest Next comes out and people get into that game and see some of the things that can be put in there, then maybe we'll start getting more people back into Landmark then as a result of EQN coming out?
If they're tit for tat, if I have the ability to come into Landmark to create something and export it over to Next, you'll see a lot of people in Landmark as well as in Next, because if I can build a house here and export it over to there,
housing is such a big deal.
There is a reason for me to be here.
EQ2, man, can you imagine being able to either have the tools that we have in Landmark to build your own housing in EverQuest, or go into a Landmark and build your thing and save it as a mesh template, whatever, and then
build your own house.
Place it. Yeah,
build your own house exactly the way you wanted it.
Which is what would make having Landmark be free to play, but EQN not make sense. Because you go into EQN, you've already paid all that. You say now, if you want to build your own house, go into Landmark, and
So it would be a tit for tat, the way I kind of look at it. If as long as they set it up correctly, I can come over to Landmark, build my house. I can build my little, I don't know, harem house or something. And what? Are you picking on me? I swear. And but yeah, if I come over here and I build the things that I want, and then just export them over to to Next. And that way, the two games actually work in conjunction with each other and would feed off of each other. Right?
Yeah.
All right. So
before we wrap, guys, give me the one thing you want to see added to Landmark more than anything else. Who wants to go first?
I would say whatever is replacing story bricks.
Okay.
So we can start making our own content.
Okay. That's it. Okay.
I can agree with that, but I want to see other races.
That's the one thing you want to see most?
I do. I want to see other races that I could have in this game. But they've already told us we're not getting that until after possibly the release of Next. But they said that they did not want to do it right off the get-go, because then you know what the characters are going to be like. And that's why you have not had a Karen to walk around with.
I see some
apparently
NPCs.
Enzo wants
Trelana says NPCs. Yeah.
Enzo wants clean, free rotation.
Yeah.
Okay, well, these are great, though.
Actually, I'm with him on that, because then I can finally put the spires on the under part of the Space Needle the way it's supposed to be.
Carnivon wants NPCs and economy as his big priority. And Verdun, yes, Voxel Forge, you got it right, man. My big thing, Voxel Forge. That's my big one.
I could care less about an economy. It's really nothing big to me, because all I like doing is building. I'm not, I just don't see where economy is a big deal.
I get totally why economy is a priority. Totally get that. Everybody, thank you for tuning in today. Great points you guys have brought up in the chat here. Wish we had another 30 minutes to go. I got to go get my kids at the bus stop. Man, fun times. Let's Talk Landmark, episode 9. Guys, what you got going on this week?
I am building Qeynos and putting 20 voxel bases on all my crap.
And let's talk Landmark on.
Yes, let's talk Landmark on Wednesday. Sorry about that. I was caught in the moment of ranting.
Yeah, got it.
Wanting to stab things in the face or something. I don't know.
We need guests for Wednesday show. We
do need guests for Wednesday show, and I'm hoping Knobwinkle will have his camera by then, because I'd love to have him on the show. But if that's not the case, we do need somebody for the show. If you're interested, definitely contact me or Geo or Pantera or any of us if you're interested to come on the show with us. And yeah, you can pick on me just like Geo does. Thanks, Geo.
Yeah, anytime. I'm just glad your eyebrows grew back. David, where's your soundboard, man?
I'd do it again.
Skype, I can't.
Oh yeah, that's right. We're on Skype.
I would do it again in a heartbeat. I mean, $5,000, dude.
That was awesome.
$5,000. No, wait a minute. It wasn't 5,000. It was 2,000, wasn't it?
It was a lot, man.
It was a lot of money.
I threw down some for that bit of craziness.
I don't remember how much it was anymore.
That was the best money I ever spent.
Yeah. I bet it was. I get to see.
I was afraid to donate anymore. He might shave his butt on live television. David, what you got going on, man, this week? Anything?
I got a rebuttal.
Oh, I got a rebuttal for you, Gio.
Yeah.
This year, the mullet's gone. The mullet's gone.
The mullet? Yours?
No, yours.
No. Mine's not a mullet, man. The hat's just covering up. I got that crazy Doc Brown hair.
Oh God!
It's all this length.
I thought that was
the
a
whole
mullet
thing.
back there.
Yeah, it's crazy. I get up in the morning and
let's give him a haircut to match Pantera's in-game haircut.
Yeah, heck yeah. I would pay big for that. I'd love to see Gio with a bald ass head.
Well, give it about another year, man. Well, I had a crew cut before. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I had a crew cut.
That don't count.
Yeah.
It's not the here and now.
Hey, everybody! For those that don't know, Dyfed runs our soundboard on the Morning Brew, and if you've ever watched our show, it's funny. There's some moments that are just beautiful comedic timing, and it's all Dyfed. It's all the magic that he works by.
Go ahead,
dude's got mad skills.
Dyfed, play the potato.
I don't have it up, but we're on Skype here.
Yeah. I'd have to. Yeah. I'm not connected to TeamSpeak.
I am not a potato. I am not.
Actually, that one is Pantera's sound.
Oh yeah, and Pantera's got it too. That's right.
I'll have to find that one. No, I'm going to be gone doing some personal business later this week, so I won't be around Wednesday, Thursday.
Okay. Well, then we'll see you Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And guys, tune in for the Morning Brew. We've changed to our springtime schedule. It's going to be 2-hour shows. Starts at 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So catch us. Have fun.
I forgot something.
Yeah, what's that?
The end of my contract comes up this Saturday, which means that I will have more free time on my hands finally. So I will be streaming more. I will also be finally able to get off my butt and do more tutorials and stuff like that. So definitely, I definitely look forward to that because I'm ready to do some streaming again.
That's great,
also, we just changed TeamSpeak servers for the Colossus group, and it is always open to the public for anybody and everybody. We've got channels for just about anything you can imagine in there. If you're looking for help in Landmark, we've got it. We've got people that play EverQuest 2 and a mix of other games. We also have quite a few streamers that come in there, and they have their own personal channels. If you're a streamer and want a channel, you can get one. All you got to do is contact me.
I think we had over 20 people in our TeamSpeak channel this morning for this morning's show.
A lot.
And but it is open to the public for anybody who wants to come in. And you know, if you have your own group that you don't have a TeamSpeak, but you'd like to be a part of a bigger kind of a community, you can contact us. We'll set you up with your own channel for your own group, including sub channels and all that kind of stuff. Definitely just contact us.
Are you planning to do any more of those community builds that you used to stream?
That is my hope. That is my hope.
Those are always fun.
Once I'm able to do it, it's going to be great. I can't wait to do it again.
Well, hey, Wiki Wacky Woo. Well, you're welcome if you can get on at 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Love to have you join us on the show. Anyway, everybody, we're out of time. I have to go get my kids. Thank you for joining us today. Great show, great discussion. And tune in tomorrow for the Morning Brew, and Wednesday evening at 7:30 Eastern for our next Let's Talk Landmark, guys.
Yeah.
Be good. Go out and build something for Qeynos, everybody.
Have a good one.
Cheers.
Bye.